Hey everybody, Chris the Old Ass Retro Gamer here. Today is going to be kind of a special episode because just yesterday, Saturday, April 8th, I attended the Midwest Gaming Classic that's in Brookfield, Wisconsin. It's a convention I had gone to for the past 2 years. This is my third year. But this year was kind of special because I, along with 4 others, were invited to participate in a YouTube Gamers panel. And the other YouTubers that were on the panel were Grimsy42, Retro Games, Vinyl and Beer, The Game Grinder, and Boss and Burf, who unfortunately was not able to attend. We were asked to talk about creating and maintaining a YouTube channel, and one of the topics we wanted to discuss was the current state of video game collecting. So here is the Midwest YouTube Gaming panel from the Midwest Gaming Classic 2017.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming. My name is Chris. On YouTube I go by the Old Ass Retro Gamer. Thanks. We want to welcome you to the panel. We're going to go down the line and introduce everybody. Starting with
I go by Church. My channel is The Game Grinder, and I also am on a podcast, Game Times Podcast.
My name is Shelton, and I have a YouTube channel called Retro Games, Vinyl and Beer.
Scott, I go by Grimsy42 for no apparent reason on the YouTubes, but can't be your normal name. The stalkers are out there, people. So what should we do here? We should just introduce what YouTube really is. It's not like it was years ago, guys. It's basically Facebook with videos. You don't need these crazy computers. You don't need like cutting technology editing skills. You could literally take a smartphone with the YouTube app, film a quick video. There's actually built-in editing software. You can sync music. And it doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to be a character. You don't have to, basically what it is in my eyes, find something you love, something you're passionate about. You're not the only person out there that is. There's somebody else that shares that love and that passion. And if they see you're genuine, they'll gravitate towards you. And, how large your audience is really isn't as important as how well you're received. So, just a weird thought, for example, like, I think I've got 400,000 views on my channel. Picture a stadium with 400,000 people in it. They all came to watch me. That's crazy, and I felt that way when I had 1,000 views. I was like, that's like a small arena that watch my stuff, so not so much focused on the numbers, but that every number is a person, like each and every one of you guys would be theoretically one of those views. So to me, like, don't do it for numbers, don't do it for fame, do it because you love something and you want to convey what you love, to your audience.
Yeah, I agree with what Scott said. When I started YouTube, I had a $100 laptop and a really crappy webcam. And yeah, I just started because I liked making videos. And it's something you want to do. I recommend just starting out. A lot of people are scared to make their first video, so I'd say go for it. Yeah, I started doing the YouTube stuff because I'm a filmmaker. It's one of my hobbies, and it was kind of my way to keep the dust off when I wasn't doing film projects. And I just ended up using like the webcam built into my Mac, and it just kind of, it was about me recollecting all the games I had as a kid, and it's kind of turned into something else. But it seems to be working.
And really my big driving factor to get into YouTubing was that, of course I have friends that play video games, but nobody played the same games I was, so I figured it was going to be a good venue where I could actually talk about the games that I wanted to talk about as I played them. And getting going for me was just getting a cheap webcam and a microphone and kind of stumbling my way through as I went along, figured out editing, didn't have any skills to start with, so it really doesn't take a lot. Anybody with a cell phone can pretty much do YouTube these days. You just gotta have a passion for it.
You want to talk about the collecting? Okay, yeah, all 4 of us are like diehard game collectors, and Church brought up something where people are starting to sell off their collections a little bit now. Like, games are getting harder and harder to find out in the wild. eBay prices are starting to skyrocket, and people are just selling their collections because they're sick of having to put up with it. But there's also like ways you can go out and find games to keep collecting. I mean, you don't have to use eBay, you don't have to use the internet. I mean, Facebook is a great place to collect stuff. You can also go, like, garage sailing is great, going to thrift shops. I mean, anywhere but eBay, basically, is a good place to go.
And really expanding that to, communicating with the people you know, friends and family, letting them know that you collect video games. And a lot of times they will, when they're doing some spring cleaning, they'll come across an old box and they'll be like, oh, hey, I heard you collect video games. And, that's another way to do it. Right now, I feel like leveraging Facebook communities is really big benefit to collecting because a lot of people in the same boat, they want to pass on the deals, they want deals themselves. So it just got to keep at it. If you just stop at like a thrift store once and you don't see any video games and call it good, you're not going to find any video games. But if you continuously stop at that thrift store, once a week, a couple times a week, like when things come in, you'll find them, and there are still deals out there to be found.
I guess if we're going to caveat to that, as far as, yes, I'm sure since we're all here, we love video games to some capacity, and compared to years ago, it is substantially more difficult now to locate those games, especially at a reasonable price. But what the other gents touched on is absolutely true. If you put the time in and repetition, as far as, hitting up a thrift store, garage sales, I've got friends, I don't have the courage to do it myself, but they'll ask, hey, do you have video games? And I typically do that too, but then when the guy says no, they'll go, nothing, like old Nintendo, Game Boy, and they'll just go down a list, and maybe after like the fifth thing, they go, oh, Nintendo? Yes, I have those, and then they pull out these old retro cartridges that they didn't even know they had until you said that. So the deals are still there, you just have to do something that no one else is doing to find them, because, I mean, garage sales in my area at least are like crazy. There's like 30 people that go door to door trying to get what they can, so, just having that patience and, again, doing something to separate yourself from the average guy, like what are you doing that no one else is, and obviously not sharing too many of those secrets. I'll share them with you guys though, share my peoples, but no, seriously though, just, having that extra little bit of enthusiasm will push you ahead of the guys that are doing it just to resell or to make a buck, because no one likes work. But if it's something you're passionate about, you have that extra advantage because it genuinely means something to you. And that is kind of what I tied into before when making videos. If you go up there and you're forcing it and it's fake and you're not really enthusiastic, you just kind of want to fit in, your audience is going to see that. They want to see something you're truly passionate about. So it doesn't have to be gaming, it could be ballet. I mean, I'm a huge 1-2-step fan myself, if that's what ballet is. Just anything that you really care about, because that's, transparency is huge. And if they see the passion in your eyes and in your voice, they're going to cling to your content and resonate better with you. So, the next thing we're going to do is, obviously, if you're here, you must have some interest in YouTube. If you guys have any questions, there's a handsome gentleman in a blue polo over there who just picked up a mic. And throw a hand up, he'll run over to you, and you guys can ask away. And if not, we'll keep rattling on, so whichever one is more fun for you.
We got one.
Thank you. So my channel has recently hit about 163 subscribers, but it seemed like I did a shift in content, and now a lot of the people really don't seem like they watch my videos. On average, I was getting about 175 views per video, no problem. But now it's like I'm getting like 25 to around 50. I don't know, could you guys give me some input, maybe help me out? That'd be great.
I have a couple tips. Maybe, are you doing like the same types of videos usually? Maybe try and do different kind of stuff. Okay, I see. Based on that, I mean, I do like 3 different types of content, and sometimes your videos aren't going to get views for the type of stuff you're doing. Maybe try and reach out to a different type of audience. Like, there's always Facebook groups for each type of thing. I promote my stuff on Facebook all the time in multiple different groups. And I think just try and reach out to more different people and find the type of people that would be into that type of thing.
one of the things, because as soon as you said that, something hit my mind. Like, imagine you watch Walking Dead every Sunday at 9, and then all of a sudden Sunday at 9, a completely different type of show started going on. They're not going to get, you know, the 80 million viewers that Walking Dead is getting. If I'm watching football and suddenly hockey is on, that's different content. So essentially what you did was you had audience A, and you know that number of subscribers were there to see that content, and then you transition to a different format. So kind of like what Shelton said, if you ever notice when a television network is trying to push a huge show, and you can see these tips because the big channels do it, like Into the Badlands right now, they put it on right after Walking Dead because they know, hey, half of those 70 million people are going to sit here and watch this also. So it's kind of a good way to, you know, bring in more viewers. Maybe by the title of your new stuff, they may not think they're interested, but if you make one of your older style content videos and then kind of bridge off a little bit at the end into what your new style is, your old viewers will watch, and then they're not being forced because it's a little bit of extra content. And you can actually go into your analytics, and there's a thing you can use that'll track your viewer retention, and that's huge for anyone who wants to do YouTube. You basically go to the viewer retention, and it will show you a graph, and you can actually compare that graph to the average video. So you can see at what points of your video viewers came or viewers left. And you know how if you kind of like fast forward that little bar, so like let's just say I made a video that says, oh my god, rarest game ever. And I watch the analytic, and it says at the 2-minute mark, I had a spike in views. Then I'll go check and see what was there, and that was when I actually showed the game and stopped talking. That's what they came to see. So based on that information, you can go, this is what the people are looking for, and you can tailor your video to give them specifically what they want. If they're into the character development, that's where the spikes will be. If they're into the, you know, the climax, that's where their spikes will be. If they're into the, you know, hyper moment of your video, that's where the spikes will be. So you basically can take that tool and you can see what your current viewers are looking for. So those are some suggestions. And again, if your content has changed, reach out to that new audience, what it is. So are there Facebook groups that do what it is you like? You know, I wouldn't go there and spam my video. People actually find that irritating. I would find other people that do it and comment on their videos. You know, don't promote yourself, just comment. Your name gets visibility, you know, you get your name out there, you let other people see you exist, and then when they run into you again, they go, hey, I know that guy with the goofy spiky hair, the Dreamcast shirt, I saw him somewhere. And that you know, that familiarity kind of trickles over, so those would be some suggestions.
And another big help to growing your channel is reaching out and doing collaborations. Like there's tons and tons of YouTubers. A lot of people just trying to get their channel going, looking for those opportunities. And when you're watching other people's videos and commenting on their videos, you know, sometimes they return the favor and check out your content. And if you're both kind of doing the same thing, you reach out and say, hey, let's do a collaboration. You know, whether it's, you know, pickup video collaboration or a game review, like the options are limitless. And you know, everybody wants their channel to get views. Like, we're doing it for the passion, you know. That's essentially why we get into it. But at the same time, like, nobody wants the channel to not get any views. So, keeping that in mind, that you're doing it for the passion, do it because you enjoy doing it, not necessarily to appease a certain audience. Definitely shows through when you're making videos. And you know, when you switch content, like you mentioned you did, yeah, there's going to be a drop-off because people were watching your content for that stuff. But like Lindsay said, that some people will check that out and they'll see your new stuff, and you know, it's just kind of a snowball effect. It's a slow process, understanding that YouTube is billions and billions of videos getting uploaded all the time. Like, it's hard to really get the footing in there, but just keeping at it, you know, keep your passion going, I think is going to be the biggest help to growing your channel, and just being patient.
Did you have a question?
When it comes to collecting, what was the hardest collection for you to complete?
TurboGrafx 16. I recently got back into collecting for it. Tax return time. I decided to go for some of the higher end items I normally can't afford, and I went for the TurboGrafx 16, and I've kind of gotten the bug back for that one. But that is a very difficult, especially if you're going complete with the big box attached. I just go for case only. But that's the one that I find very hard to collect for, to find at least the good stuff, but it's worth it in the end. Specifically in my area, I have a lot of trouble finding Sega Saturn games and Dreamcast games. They're usually way overpriced when I find them, and I barely find anything that's good. So that's why I go to these conventions. I usually find a lot of good deals here on those types of things.
You know, a lot of the answers are going to be common, like TurboGrafx, Sega Saturn, even Dreamcast. I mean, you go into those game stores and their sections are little if nothing. And any system like that, let's not include Neo Geo because that is entirely a different beast. It makes Turbo seem common. It's so bad. But basically, if you're trying to find something that's hard to find, the ultimate tool is networking. And what I've found is you just make your circle as large as you can, help your friends, and they will in fact return the favor. And if, you know, Shelton is looking for Saturn, and Chris is looking for Turbo, and I'm looking for Wii U, I know every single time I find a Turbo game, there's a friend over there that's going to find me a Wii U game. So maybe not be, you know, Jabba the Hutt and want everything. Focus on something specific. Don't spend your, you know, rent money on it ever, please. You know, again, it's a hobby. It's something we're supposed to enjoy, not something that's supposed to consume us. So, but if you're looking out for your friends, they're going to look out for you. And, you know, obviously a few will be shady, but there's people out there who share your passion and are excited to see you succeed. I've had so many people, when completing my NES set, look out for me. A friend of mine found my stadium events for me. I didn't find it. So they knew it, I cared about it, and they were looking for me. So basically, by having those friends, you now have 4 eyes, 12 eyes, etc., looking for those rare games you're looking for. And even at places like this, where you're going to see a huge variety of games, patience is huge. And when you're going to haggle, which I suggest you always try to do, even at a retail store, regardless, like, I even try to haggle at GameStop, and sometimes it works. It depends on how you approach it. If you go up to the guy and you mock their product and you go, oh, this is beat up, or I could get this cheaper on eBay, think about what they're going to think. They're going to go, this guy's insulting me and he's going to lowball me. So what I'll do instead is try to spark a conversation. Show them your passion, show them your interest, and rationalize in a non-pity party way why it is that you think you deserve a deal. So here's this $30 game. I'm going to go, you know, hey man, how's it going, blah, blah, blah. Get to the sweet part where, you know, hey, any chance you take 25 for this? A lot of times they want the sale. And if you hit that sweet spot where you're not like, can I get this $30 game for $5? A lot of times they kind of come in with a preconceived notion, no, people are going to chop me down a few more. So it kind of like they're ready for it. And another thing I like to do, don't walk up to the booth, see a game you want, and look it up on your phone. Look, know what it is, walk away, look it up good, know what it's really worth, and come back with the information, because A, their time's valuable. If you're sitting there, you know, let me see how lowball I want to go here, you know, it's going to rub the seller the wrong way. By being polite and relating to that seller, you're going to have that opportunity to get a better deal and not leave in a tense situation. Anyone else?
And I'd like to add to that too, as I mentioned with promoting your YouTube channels, getting involved with Facebook communities, and not just joining a community to find good deals on games, like to actually get involved. There's all kinds of communities. There's retro game communities, there's Nintendo communities, even internet forums. The Turbo Forum is a very tight-knit community, and getting in with these communities and being a contributor, like when people go out hunting, like they will let you know that they find stuff. I've benefited myself. Like I would say a lot of my collection has came from getting involved and making friends and having them pass along the things they find or pointing out things to me. So really just, you know, make the most of your connections. I think will do a lot to help you collect. Any other questions? All right, let's go real.
One more question? One more question? Sorry. Okay, one quick one.
if I was gonna start a channel and I was gonna do like a face cam, would you recommend I record it on the computer or like on a separate camera?
I still use the webcam built into my Mac. I haven't upgraded at all for the Patreon support. I don't, honestly, unless you're going to be doing some crazy editing stuff and you're going to be using green screens and all that kind of stuff, I don't see the point in really getting a any high-end equipment at all. Just use what you got. Use your phone. I mean, it's just as good as anything out there right now.
One thing I did when I first started, because yes, you have a phone, but it's not the perfect tool. There's a piece missing. You can go on eBay, and they have for like $10 a tripod that'll have a little jaw that'll actually hold onto your phone. And at first what I did was I would record with the screen there so I could see myself and know I was staying in frame. But once you get experience, you can flip it around to where the better camera is, and you can kind of know this is my radius, this is where I need to be. And as weird as it may sound, you kind of want to be right in the face of the viewers. You know, they don't want to see a little tiny person in this gigantic backdrop. Get right up into the camera. One of the biggest tips, one of the things that I've heard like a ton of times, the most important thing is not your camera, it's lighting and sound. If you have good lighting, it'll make a potato look like a good camera. And there are so many, like any critique I get on my channel is always sound. So you can actually get, they're called like Rode mics, I think. You can even get one that'll attach to a phone. Get a good microphone, because the lighting will make you look good and the mic will make you sound good. And that's two things that are extremely important to people. So, and they're cheap. Like that tripod I told you, I found one on eBay for like $8 shipped.
And that's about all the time we have. Once again, big thank you to our presenters.
So there you have it, the Midwest YouTube Gaming panel from the Midwest Gaming Classic 2017. I hope you enjoyed it. But it was my first speaking engagement as the Old Ass Retro Gamer, so I was looking forward to it, even though I was extremely nervous. And I do believe I stumbled over some of my words while speaking, but it's okay. It's all practice for the future. I really want to thank Grimsy42, Retro Games Vinyl and Beer, and the Game Grinder for coming from all over to participate in the panel. Some didn't even plan on going to this convention at all until I had asked them if they were interested in participating. And luckily they did, and it was amazing to meet these people in person, get to chit-chat with them, hang out with them for a little while. I wish I could have spent more time hanging out with them, but I wasn't able to, which is pretty sad. But you know what? There's always next year. But we were lucky enough to have an audience member offer up his pretty fancy digital camera to film our panel, which was very awesome of him. He does have a YouTube channel of his own, Rising Blue Phoenix. Check it out. He's actually the first person who asks a question during the Q&A. And next week I will have the Midwest Gaming Classic Pickups video uploaded. So stay tuned for that. So until next time, I am Chris, the Old Ass Retro Gamer, signing off.